Right, let's answer those Google questions. And first up, are sweet corn and maize the same thing? Well, sweet corn is a variety of maize. Maize is the term often used in agriculture, though in some parts of the world the term corn is also used. And by weight, maize, or corn, is the most grown cereal grain in the world. In 2021, 1.2 billion tonnes of maize was used in food, drink, fuel and fishing. And sweet corn itself is called Z maize variety saccharate, which obviously has a bit of a sugar link to it, because sweet corn has a higher sugar content compared to other varieties of maize. Hence the term sweet corn. What's the difference then between mini sweet corn and regular sized? Well, baby corn is basically the immature version of sweet corn. You harvest these when the corn silks are around 2 to 3 inches long. As baby corn is immature, the hard cob isn't fully developed, meaning it's edible, whereas the mature cob is too hard. Is sweet corn healthy to eat? Corn is good for eye health. It's full of carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. Studies have shown that eating corn will lower the chance of macular degeneration. Thanks to the rich fibre content of corn helps you have a healthy digestive system too, and helps you to feel fuller for longer. Though research has shown that the sugar content within it can cause sugar spikes. So, as with all foods, eat it in moderation to maintain a healthy diet. It also contains magnesium and potassium, which helps reduce tiredness, making it a great option to add for a post-workout meal. Are sweet corns annuals, biennials or perennials? Well, sweet corn is an annual crop that you will need to sow again the following year, as I do with mine here. Where should you grow sweet corn? Well, sweet corn can be grown wherever it is convenient for you to grow. So the good news is you don't need to include them in your crop rotation. They're pretty flexible, though I would avoid growing them in the exact same spot year in, year out. As for too long, eventually they'll start to lose out on some of the nutrients needed to thrive. As a general purpose, I always move my crops around here, apart from the fruit, which is in a permanent position. One, because I like a bit of variety. I like to punctuate the years, and two, it stops really some of the soil-borne pests and diseases being in the right place. If you keep planting the same things, if you move them around, it falls them off. Which garden style are best for sweet corn? Well, ideally you want to grow them in your allotment or grow your own area. However, if you don't have an allotment or a space specifically for fruit and vegetables, a potager garden uses the principles of garden design to enhance the veg plot. So alongside your carrots and peas and potatoes and sweet corn, you'd also grow ornamental plants like roses, caramel, borage and poppies. So it's a bit of a mix. So the thing to do is have a go at sweet corn, whatever space you have available. If you've got to grow your own area or a border, this is only a small section just here, but it's packed out with cobs just at the bottom. It's really great, and if you've got kids, it's great to get them involved too. Well, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I've got a free monthly newsletter that is packed with great seasonal gardening hints and tips, completely free, and you can subscribe to this really easy. It's in the description below, so sign up and take a look. Right, let's answer some more of those questions on sweet corn. How do you grow sweet corn from seed? It's so easy. I'm pleased to say that sweet corn is very straightforward veg to grow, and with most packets there's loads of information on how to do them when you get home. But there are a couple of things to consider before you start. Sweet corn is tall, so it's not a plant that works well in a container. The wind just blows them down. Now, there are many different ways of growing sweet corn. I prefer to have all mine in one big block. They pollinate each other a lot better with the wind. But if you want to plant them straight outside, you can do that, but you can plant it amongst salad or spinach. You can choose a variety of seed that you want to grow based really on your palate. Read the seed packet really carefully before buying and know where you're going to plant for much greater success really. The secret is you're preparing the ground. Ideally, sweet corn is grown in a sheltered spot that is warm and has lots of sun, but the wind still can go through. Work the soil to improve the drainage and add in plenty of well-rotted manure. All grow your own areas need rotted manure, and these are pretty big plants, so they need a lot more energy. And sweet corn is a type of grass, so it's pollinated by the wind. And to increase those chances of pollination, a really good practice is grow them in blocks rather than rows, so they can just pollinate each other as the wind is moving through. As sweet corn is a tender plant, you ideally need to start this crop off indoors. That's what I do with mine. I grow the seed in the greenhouse just over there, get it to germinate and then move it out. You can do this as you can maintain more of a consistent temperature in the greenhouse as well, and protect the plants, young plants particularly, from pests. And on a warm windowsill, if you haven't got a greenhouse, sow the seeds approximately 2.5 centimetres or an inch deep in toilet roll tubes. You can make those into really easy pots, or you can use module trays as well. Sow the seeds individually. They're pretty big, so they're really easy to handle. And that saves, once they're in and dibbed in and you've got them in those toilet roll things, you could just plant the whole thing straight out and it avoids disturbance. And once the seedlings have reached a height of about 3 inches, 8 centimetres, something similar to that, they're okay to grow outside. However, if space is at a premium, you can sow the seeds outdoors directly if you wish. You just need to wait until late spring to do this and protect the seedlings from pests. As I mentioned earlier on, you can grow them with some salad crops, crop the salad crops when the sweet corn get a bit bigger, so they finish cropping and then you can use the whole space for sweet corn. You sow your seeds 2 centimetre deep in a block or a grid formation. It's easy to mark out on the soil, leaving 34 centimetres to 45 centimetres, that's 18 inches by nearly 18 inches again, in gaps in between. With outdoor sowing, sow 2 to 3 seeds. This will help you with any failed seedlings. You can always pinch one out as it goes, but you're making sure you're getting the complete coverage. How long does sweet corn take to germinate from seed? It's not bad actually. Germination from your indoor sown is about 2 weeks, something similar to that, but the ones that you've done outside can take a bit longer. It really depends on the temperature. Every season is different. You can keep the soil warm to guarantee a bit of an earlier one by using cloches or horticultural fleece just to insulate a little bit. When should you plant your indoor grown seedlings out? Well, the secret is really when the risk of frost has passed, which in the UK is typically late May, but every season is different. And then you're fine to plant them outside. How often should you water the seedlings? Well, water regularly until the seedlings are well established, both above the ground and underneath really. Sweet corn, once established, will only need to be watered in really hot weather whilst flowering, as well as the cobs start to swell. As soon as they start to produce, as you can see here, my cobs just getting together there, they need that bit of extra moisture really to establish and produce really good cobs. How do I know when my sweet corn seeds are ready to harvest? Well, sweet corn is often ready to pick about 20 days after the first silks make an appearance on the plant. To check that the corn is ready, puncture a kernel and look for the milky liquid inside, indicating that the corn is ready to harvest. If the water is clear, then it's not ready to harvest just yet. If there is no liquid, then the plant is overripe. Getting the timing right is important, and the flavour is so good. How big does sweet corn grow? Well, typically they grow up to 2 metres tall, which is around 6.5 feet. This really depends on the variety you grow. Some of them have been known to reach 7 feet or more, but the varieties, as you choose them in the packets, you can find out the different heights. Are sweet corn frost hardy? Sweet corn is generally very tender, so it doesn't tolerate freezing temperatures very well at all. By sowing your seeds indoors in spring, you can avoid the last frosts and then of course plant them out once the season's warmed up. When does sweet corn flower? Well, sweet corn flowers are referred to as tassels, as you can see here. They are also the male part of the plant. As the wind moves through the tassels, this pollinates the female flowers that are referred to as silks. Does sweet corn need a lot of water? Not particularly. They're pretty good to take care of. They require watering regularly whilst the plant is trying to establish itself, but once it's growing well, it only needs watering when it's really, really hot and dry, and of course water when the cobs are starting to swell. Does sweet corn need staking? Well, because sweet corn grows quite tall, they can be damaged or rocked by the wind. If you're in a very exposed location, that can cause difficulties. If this starts to happen, you can support individual plants with bamboo canes, or you can, support a whole row of plants if you insert several bamboo canes around the outside of your block of your sweet corn plants, and then tie some string to each end of your sweet corn. So you're really corralling the plants together for extra support. Why does my sweet corn have side shoots? Well, these are called tillers or suckers, and you can see that I've got a few of them on my plant here. Well, they usually grow when the plant's in favourable conditions, and they're nothing to really worry about. They won't harm the plant at all. You can remove these side shoots if you would like to, but there's a good chance that they will produce cobs if given enough time to mature. So I've a tendency to leave mine on. What are the common problems with sweet corn and how do I fix them? Wildlife are big fans of sweet corn at the seedling stage. Slugs and snails are very fond of this crop. And as the crop matures, the corns form, and the birds and the squirrels and mice quite like them too. There are a few natural deterrents for slugs and snails that it's worth giving a try. Everybody's got different tricks and tips on this, but one is dried up ground eggshells can create a sharp border around your individual plants that the slugs and snails don't like travelling over. You can create a garlic drench with 2 crushed garlic cloves and 2 pints of water. Boil the mixture for 30 minutes. Smells nice in the kitchen, and then strain the liquid off. An old plastic milk bottle makes a good container for you to use to drench the area that you're protecting. You can just spike a few holes in the top and use it as a small watering can. Also, it's best not to water last thing at night. Whenever you water late afternoon, leave it so there's enough time for that moisture to dry off, because slugs and snails like moving at night in the damp condition. Also, if your standard corn cross-pollinates with a super sweet variety, or vice versa, the resulting kernels can have a poor flavour. To avoid this, grow your super sweet and standard varieties completely separately. Is sweet corn poisonous to pets? Well, sweet corn is safe for your pets to eat. Sweet corn is quite a healthy addition into a dog's diet, in moderation of course. It contains quite a large amount of sugar and carbohydrates, so make sure you don't give too much to your furry friends. It's always best to check. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video insightful. Sweet corn is a fantastic crop to grow and delicious as a snack. I love boiling them up, taking them out. Before even that, I like just ripping off the husks, putting them into a pan of water, taking them out from boiled, and then a little bit of butter just drizzling around the outside. And maybe, you can put a bit of rock salt if you like a little bit, a sweet and savoury, but I just like it with the butter, and bite into that as it dribbles down there. It tastes absolutely fantastic, and it tastes miles better picking your own than buying it wrapped in plastic in a supermarket, I can tell you. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more great content like this. And remember to switch on the notifications to be notified of my latest videos. And check out also my newsletter. It's completely free, giving loads of great ideas and hints and tips on plants, growing your own, and wildlife and garden design too. Thanks for watching.